Giant Orange Records.
So this is a 2023 roundup video of my favorite indie rock records that I purchased on vinyl and some that haven't come my way yet. Obviously my favorite indie band of all time, The Clientele, released a new album in 2023. I Am Not There Anymore. Funny title. It's definitely their most experimental album to date. It's kind of long. It's an hour long. It's a double LP. And of course I had to get the fancy colored red and black version from Merge Records. Yeah, I mean, I'd say there's some great songs on here. It's kind of almost a polarizing record, I'd say. There's a lot more experimentation, which they typically left to their EPs that they put out between albums, which is kind of a clever move. Like, put like the good, like, I don't know, pop songs or whatever on your LPs and put some of the more experimental droney stuff on your EPs. But here they've combined all that in this effort that's it's about an hour long, kind of long for a Clientele album. But you know, at first I was a little iffy on it, but I'm starting to love it more with every listen. It's definitely challenging at times. They've done things that they've never done before. But I would say like they give you some very like classic Clientele type songs, like Blue Over Blue might be one of the best songs in their catalog, and it's on this record. It's got some Mellotron, very reminiscent of like Zombies, Odyssey, and Oracle type stuff. Lady Grey is another favorite of mine. It's a very dark record in a lot of ways, but I love that about it. So Red Pants is a recording project by my friend Jason out of Madison, Wisconsin. This is their first vinyl. I've been following this band since, I don't know, we hit it up on the internet. We're definitely online internet friends. We've been doing that since like 2017 or 2018 or so. We were both very fond of the Tascam 424 4-track cassette machine, which I think Jason recorded some of that on here and some of that on the computer. But this is a blue vinyl out of a record company in Spain called Jigsaw Records. Jason does all the artwork. He's one of my absolute favorite collage artwork artists. And he'll usually, you know, add something to the collage, like put some paint on there or something. But Red Pants, not quite there yet. It's very reminiscent of, I don't know, I'd say if you like Sonic Youth and that sort of thing, you could definitely be into this. It's very indie rock, kind of droney, very, like, I think he uses some non-standard guitar tunings to get the sounds that he gets. And anyway, it's just a very enjoyable record. It's mellow, it's laid back, but it's still like very artistic and distorted and just kind of, I don't know, it's like heavy and light at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't know, Red Pants definitely has their own sound. I've got a ton of their cassettes, and you know, I've been a big fan of Jason's artwork and his music for a very long time now, so I'm so happy for them to have their music out on vinyl this year. The Garment District, this came out in the fall of 2023. Very, you know, psychedelic indie rock. Of course, it's on orange vinyl because that's really awesome. I think they might have some sort of a connection to the Ladybug Transistor, and I think one of the band members here plays an instrument in the touring version of Ladybug. But anyway, it's just like wonderful psychedelic music. I don't know, just some of these tracks really entranced me. The album is called Flowers Telegraph to All Parts of the World. It's just a beautiful title. I love that. It's very poetic, and it seems like a very positive message to be putting out there. The Nude Party rides on. This is a very enjoyable record from the Nude Party. I believe it's their third album, and me and my son and my dad actually got to see them this year in February in Jacksonville, Florida at the Winterland 5 Festival. These guys are an insanely good live band, and unfortunately, like the promoters cut their set short, which was a real shame because they were killing it. The audience was loving it. They're just like a crowd-pleasing, fan favorite kind of band. They really bring it on stage. Their studio recordings are good, but the live is just, they take it to a whole another level. But yeah, Rides On, it's a great album. They have that sort of happy-go-lucky 60s vibe, but they're also kind of very jammy live, so I think that kind of translates into their studio recordings. It sounds kind of like they record everything live in the studio. Laid Back Country Picker Go West. My band, The Electric Splash, we opened up for Laid Back Country Picker back in June in our little town of Fort Pierce, Florida. And of course we had to get their record. It's really good. It's a husband and wife. They dress up in characters. He's kind of like he's got some lamb chop, mutton chop, sideburns, kind of a cowboy type outfit, and she dresses like a 50s housewife, kind of with a pink pajama type suit and curlers and sunglasses. And anyway, it's really awesome. They got this like Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing inspired artwork, and it's just a fun band. Really, really enjoy their music, and apparently like they've really taken off this year. I guess Johnny Knoxville mentioned their name on a podcast, and in fact Johnny Knoxville said that Laid Back Country Picker is Johnny Knoxville's favorite band. So that's kind of their marketing angle. And anyway, they tour a lot. If you get a chance to go see them, go see them. The Babe Rainbow Levitation Sessions. Now, the Babe Rainbow, they've got quite a few albums out, but I only like a handful of songs off of those studio albums. But this is a live album. They're from Australia. Very cool, kind of psychedelic, kind of trippy indie band. Somehow the Levitation Sessions just like pulls together all the best elements of this band, and it's a very, very enjoyable listen. And I think, if you want to get super technical, this album got released in very late 2022, but it didn't hit the shelves of my local record store, Sounds Good Music, until well into the spring of 2023, which is when I picked it up after they spun it in the store. Now, finding vinyl, new release indie rock vinyl, can be a little bit challenging sometimes, unless you order the item from the band's Bandcamp every single time. You may not necessarily find it in the wild, but I found a couple of these albums that I haven't purchased on vinyl yet that I really enjoyed. King Tuff, Small Town Stardust. Such a good record. I don't know why I haven't come across this. Maybe I need to, hit up all these bands' Bandcamps that I'm about to mention and go from there. Rose City Band, great album. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Beachwood Sparks, who I love nearly and dearly to my heart. Kind of like West Coast, kind of, laid back sort of country vibes, if that's a thing. Bully, Lucky for You. Really enjoyed listening to this one. Hope to find this one on vinyl sometime soon. Flying Colours, that's flying with 2 Y's. I think they're a down under Australian band called You Never Know. You can find their vinyl on eBay, which I just haven't quite pulled the trigger on it yet, because even for a new release, I don't know, some of these indie rock new releases are getting to be like $45-50, and that's kind of a high price tag. I can do like $20 to $25 for a new indie vinyl, but if you get too far beyond that, I don't know. And shipping from Australia is not cheap. But anyway, they have kind of a shoegazy, psychedelic kind of sound. Definitely worth checking out if that's your kind of thing. Kendra Morris, I Am What I'm Waiting For. And this is kind of like soulful indie rock. It's kind of Kendra just has such a great voice. It's a little bit jazzy. It's a little bit trippy. And this online record group I'm a part of called the Heady Wax Fiends, I guess they have a record club where you can buy a membership and they put out certain records. This was one of the LPs that they put out this year, along with the Nude Party. They did the Nude Party's Ride On as well, which is really cool. I just recently discovered this one towards the end of the year, and I hope to find it on vinyl shortly. And then how could I not mention Jason Isbell's Weather Vanes? I've seen this thing taunting me. It's like a carrot dangling in front of Roger Rabbit, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. Again, I feel like it's probably my favorite new Isbell album since Southeastern, which he'll probably never top, but it's got some really, really great songs on it. It's just, again, it's an hour-long album, and like, I don't know, I just think albums should be like 40 minutes, maybe 45 tops. Like, you start getting over that, and it's asking a lot for the listener. But anyway, it's hard to find any faults with Jason Isbell. He's such a killer singer, songwriter, and guitarist, and just, he writes incredible music, and God bless him for that. Another glaring omission here is the Jacuzzi Boys, who released 2 EPs this year, Dipped and Glue, and I saw them play twice this year, once in Jacksonville in February at Winterland 5, and then again in June at Propaganda Lake Worth. They're one of my favorite Florida bands, and I kind of wish they would combine these EPs and put them on an LP and release that stuff on vinyl. That would be awesome.